Hi, dolls. Kenny here.
And I'm Marilyn Truman, and I want to pour some bleach on something that you love.
Just fucking horrible. Just horrible.
That will always be one of my favorite episodes of Will and Grace, where that bitch was like, I'm going to pour bleach on something she loves.
That is something that a lot of people do. A lot of people do that, and I just don't. I don't think I could ever be vindictive enough to pour bleach on people's their possessions.
I couldn't care enough. I mean, if I'm that upset, we just won't talk anymore. And I bet that bitch would pour bleach on something that bitch love and still be her best friend.
Right.
And that's the type of thing that some people do. But I mean, I just rather stop talking to you. If you've offended me in such a way that I want to cause harm in some way to you or something that you love, we need to stop talking. Because I wouldn't just stop with pouring bleach on something you love. I'll start pouring bleach in your coffee.
And fucking throw the clothes in a pit and burn it all.
Yeah, so it's best not to do that.
Oh, but child, let me go ahead and get into this story. Oh, speaking of, we weren't here last week because Chemo had his little appointment to go get some D, so he didn't want to record. He was being a little whore, so I just want everybody to blame him, and then you realize what we didn't record. It was all Chemo's fault.
Anyway, it was my fault, but not for that reason.
Anyway, so the stories that I'm going to be, this story happened actually last week. I just wanted to discuss it because nothing really happened this week, and I'm going to talk about it anyway. So last week, Katy Perry was quote unquote in trouble because I think it was The Weeknd's producer was talking about, these tweets that came up again. He was talking about how Katy Perry called him the N-word, and he was so hurt about it. And I'm trying to go through the tweets right now. Hold on. I wish y'all could have been there when Katy Perry referred to me as a nigga, ironically in Paris. Y'all know she says it regularly, right? Katy Perry is comfortable with calling me her nigga. Oddly, I wasn't. And his goes into these things like she really thought she had the right to. Honestly, my feelings were hurt and I was offended. And it's just a whole bunch of other tweets that he put out about how he was offended by her calling him the N-word. And I don't believe it. I don't believe any black person, especially in the rap community, when they say they're offended by hearing somebody call them a nigga. Because I feel like if Katy Perry actually did say this, I don't think she would have been using like, oh, nigger. I feel like Katy Perry is one of those people that she probably said nigga in the same way that a black person would say nigga. And black people just want this word to be so coveted to themselves that they can't stand it when another race says it. And so I feel like that's what he was hurt by. He didn't want her using that word. But for him to say that it hurt his feelings, I call bullshit. Severely call bullshit on
My
that.
thing is, first of all, let me preamble this in the fact that I say that I never particularly use that word. I don't have any particular association with it. I don't care if it's used, but I don't use it, and I don't really let anybody call me a nigga or whatever. And that's just my personal preference. What other people do is your business. I don't give a fuck. But as far as
that's why I said the people in the rap community.
In my personal opinion, if you're going to go around and call everybody else a nigger all day, you can't get offended when somebody else call you one if you use it all day, every day.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really have any standards. It's kind of like that whole, when your parents will bring you up and they're teaching you how to do stuff, and it's like, okay, my mama always was like, okay, I don't do it because I don't want you to do it. And I know some parents are kind of like, don't do what I do. Yeah, but my mama was always very much, I'm not going to do it because I don't want you to do it. And so you have to lead by that example. If you don't want other people using that word, then don't use it yourself. If you're using it all day and your friends using it all day and y'all calling, because even nowadays, they calling white people niggas nowadays.
Yeah. They call literally every single human being a nigga. Like, it's not just something that they call all the black people. They call every race that.
It's becoming a
And it's
universal
just, it's
term
so
now
stupid to me
between
because,
everybody. Just kind of like friend, buddy, pal, nigga. I mean,
yeah, and that's how I look at the word now. Like, unless somebody literally, like, I feel like people need to pay attention to the intent behind the word because you can tell. It's not like it's a secret thing. If somebody sits there and they're like talking to you, listen to the structure of that sentence, go back to school, bitch, and listen to the structure of that sentence and realize that when somebody is saying, like, oh, nigga, shut up, they're not saying it like being disrespectful, especially if it's your friend or somebody that you thought was a friend. Especially if they say it like that. But you can't sit there and think just because they use that word that they're trying to be malicious behind it and go back to the slavery days that you were never a part of, but you're so offended by every goddamn white person because of it. For me, I look at it like the word bitch. Like, sometimes you hear somebody will call you a bitch, and it's not a good way. Somebody will call you, like, I'll call you a bitch, and it's just two friends talking to each other. But you have to listen to the intent behind it before you get mad about it. But me hearing the way that he was describing this, I don't feel like Katy Perry would go down that road.
but I feel like okay, if Katy Perry called him a nigga, um, I'm assuming she knows him in some facet.
Yeah, they were at a club
And
together
I'm so mad
apparently.
if she said that, then she probably was already calling him one to his face. Because for one thing, that's not a word that people just throw out
Yeah,
too often.
just throw
And
it
it's
out
just
to
like
see
the
what
word
happens.
bitch. Yeah. I mean, people aren't like, okay, I'm a throw it. Let's see if he gonna catch it. You know, the people ain't gonna really do that too quick. And it's just like the word bitch, like what you were talking about. Like me, I don't really use the word nigga a lot, but I use the word bitch all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Bitch, don't I know
usually
it? Let me go through my text real quick.
right? It's like, especially with you my best friend. I mean, I call you a bitch all day. And the thing is, though, it's more of a term of endearment, which is weird, but I guess, but
It's just the
there's a
way that you
really,
use it.
but that's a big thing in their community, period. We just use the word bitch a lot.
Yeah.
And, but and it's in the same way with the word nigga in the African American community. But, my thing is, it all depends on who you know. If Katy Perry was comfortable enough to say that, she was already calling you that. You just wanted to throw that out there and make it seem like it was a big ordeal. But more than likely, if she was comfortable enough to say that, y'all already had that relationship, bitch. Because let me tell you, I can call, you and me can call each other bitch all day, but let some bitch I don't know walk up on and be like, hey, what's up, bitch? Bitch, what?
Yeah.
We ain't that cool, ho. And so you know who to do that with. And
Yeah.
so Katy Perry already had that relationship with him. So now he wants to get up on Twitter and be a big fat ass baby.
And I feel like it had to have been one because this was the weekend's producer. So, she used to date him, right? Or, yeah. Did she used to date him? Or was that
Did
somebody
she?
else?
I don't know.
No,
I
I
know
think I'm getting
Selena
her confused
Gomez.
with that. I'm getting him confused with that boy from Gym Class Hero. I'm getting him confused with him. But
Oh, Travi.
yeah, that's what I'm getting confused with. But I remember in the tweets he was also saying, because I'm looking at him right now, he was like, "What's more amazing is I tweeted that shit in 2013, and y'all ain't say shit about it until you catch the person red-handed. Who's the bigger fool? No one cared that my feelings were hurt as a person. A famous Caucasian person thought it was okay to say that word to me to relate with me." And you actually, so and even in that tweet, he says she said it to relate with him. So that's not
Oh,
even
see,
like
that's why
she's not
I
using it
still
in
don't
malicious
see why
intent.
his feelings are hurt. If you knew that she was only saying it as a term of camaraderie, why on earth are you on here talking about your feelings hurt? That's what I don't get. If you knew her intentions were pure, why are you mad? I mean,
Because black people want to hold on to this fucking word because they like to have something that they feel like no one else can use. But I feel like I would more, probably not even then. I think I would understand it more if it was not a term used so much. It is in literally every rap song. It is in the rap song several times, and rap is for everyone. You can't just say rap is for black people because then if you're putting these songs out here with this N word in here, people are gonna sing along to your words.
child bitch, you ain't gonna say it's just for black people when them white people come up and pay for buy your album, because more than likely them white
Right?
bitches gonna buy your album for them black bitches will. So what you gonna say
They
then?
surely
You sure take that white money.
will.
So, I mean,
You can, but people sing along to those songs and rap along with it. And I know if I was a different race, I'm not about to sit here and half-ass rap this song because I can't say the N-word. Bitch, fuck that.
some people I know that are like that. They are so scared to say that word, and like they'll be around me, and maybe they're listening like white people that I know say they're listening to rap and they're singing along to it, and they get to that word, and they're like they look at me, and they're like
Get all awkward with it. I have a friend like that because he loves rap, and I always tell him like, listen, I am not the black person that's about to tell you that you can't say this or that word, so bitch, go right ahead. Especially because I know him and I know how he doesn't have a racist bone in his body. So I would not care it would just be like I would just listen to the song in that sense if I hear him saying it. Like I don't care.
I think that's really stupid. And as far as like I said, in this day and age, it's something that they're calling everybody. Like, and then especially
Yeah.
even when I was growing up, in high school here in the South now. I mean, there were like, you got your wiggers and your white people that grew up in black neighborhoods, so they basically act black, and
Hmm.
and they were comfortable enough with their black friends that they called each other nigga, and that was something that they did because they were comfortable in that way. Like I said, Katy Perry had to feel comfortable enough to do that because white people are terrified to use that word. I mean, if they're
If they're
not a
not blatantly
bigot,
racist, yeah.
yeah, they are terrified to do it. And so, like I said, she had to already be comfortable. And you also have to see Katy Perry be hanging around with a lot of black folks. And so I'm sure that she hang around with all them black folks. All them black folks use that word around her, and she probably got around them. She heard that word enough. She probably started using it too. And so that's probably what egged that on. I mean, I'm still flabbergasted as to why his feelings were hurt.
So
I
like I said, I
think
call bullshit.
you like, yeah. I think that's more for attention than anything. I think that if I were to meet Katy Perry and we started a good conversation, and if she would have called me a nigga, I mean, I probably like Katy. I love you. But let's refrain from that. But other than that, for me to get on Twitter and be like, Katy Perry called me a nigga, dude. I didn't know what to do with my life after that. I mean, really.
I would also probably tell her like let's refrain from saying that because that's not a word that I use like often. If I'm using it, it's for a specific purpose, like this story or it was in a song or like there has to be a reason behind it. I'm not just gonna haul off and say it. My term of endearment, quote unquote, would be bitch. Nigga is not just a word that just flies off
Yeah.
my
Now
tongue.
me and Katy
That's for
Perry could
in
be
random
bitching all
circles.
day. Be like, yeah, bitch, what's up, bitch? All right, bitch. But anyway, so we're gonna take this moment and hear a word from our sponsor.
Oh yeah, get that sponsor money, bitch.
Do you like random trivia? A cat's lower jaw cannot move sideways. Huh, didn't know that. Or do you like a refreshing beverage? Or if you like both, make time for Snapple. Okay, so we're back, and to leave the nigga and bitch, which is crazy because this is a great segue until Miley Cyrus.
Oh, really? Well, we're Miley. I haven't heard shit about Miley for a very long time now that I think about it.
So Miley is getting ready to premiere her new single, Malibu,
Malibu.
which is about the love of her life, Liam Hemsworth.
Oh, she's still with him?
Well, they broke up and then they got back
Oh, I
together.
didn't know they got back together. So I'm like, bitch, I could have sworn they broke
Yeah,
up.
I think they were broke up for like 2 years or something. They were broke up for a long time,
So
and then
they were not seeing eye to eye, apparently.
but they're engaged and whatnot, and they're living together and everything in Malibu. But
Hence the name of the song.
hence the name of the song. But it's about him apparently. It's supposed to be a little love song. She's leaving urban hip hop and all that stuff behind, and she's going back to her country roots apparently, which I'm all here for. I love me some country music. I am a good Southern belle in Tennessee, and I love me some country music. She did this interview with Billboard magazine and basically talking about how she's left that life behind. She's looking really nice. She's growing her
Mm-hmm.
hair back out. She's dressing like the old Miley again,
She got
and
out of her
like
ratchet phase.
yeah, she's left the ratchet phase behind, and she said the reason why leaving the ratchetness behind is so that she wants people to take her more seriously. She wants to make more serious music. She wants to talk about the things that are going on in the world, and she said nobody's gonna take her seriously, if she's like got her tongue wagging out her mouth, and so
Understandable, because people were taking her seriously. I loved her music,
yeah,
but
yeah.
nobody was taking her seriously.
I said, now I loved Ratchet Miley. Don't get me wrong,
Oh
but
yeah.
I loved the Miley before then too. So I'm really interested in seeing what she's gonna do with the country music and whatnot. Like I said, she's looking really beautiful. Like in the pictures that they took, the thing that I really take from this interview that I found hilarious because she was sober. She was like, I'm sober. I don't smoke weed anymore. But you know what's so hilarious about it is that she was like, I haven't smoked weed in 3 weeks. And I'm like, bitch, 3 weeks?
Bitch, you ain't sober.
I was
Shut
like,
the fuck
I was
up.
like 3 weeks. That
You
was
on
the
the fucking
thing that
edge of a
stuck with
relapse
me.
right now.
She's like, I don't even want to do it anymore, and then that's basically what she's saying. And I'm over here thinking, because she had stepped out of the social media and spotlight for like a couple months. She had stepped away, and I guess to get her mind set for all the things, because she's got a couple things that she's been doing. She's been doing this whole happy hippie thing where she's been like spreading awareness for the LGBT community, and
Hmm.
the LG what is the LGBTQ plus
Child, there's
community.
so many guys. Like, there's one person I heard talking about, and he was like the LGBTQI, and then he gave some other letters. I'm like, so who are these people? Who are you inviting to this party? Because I don't know them.
And I need to just be saying everybody because I mean they do keep adding letters, and I mean I guess the point is supposed to be inclusive, but if it's inclusive,
But
just
that
go
does
ahead and
not
make it
roll off the
everybody.
tongue, bitch.
Yeah,
Because
you
I'm not
gotta.
about to sit here and say the alphabet to fucking talk to you. Like,
It is
we
getting
want to
very
have our A B C D
expensive.
E F G H I J K community. Like, I'm not trying to go down this alphabet just to express this. So it's doing too much. Because even though it's trying to be inclusive, you still, you like, just the term itself is leaving out people still.
Well, that's why
Because,
I
okay,
think
you
that's
have
why
this
they put the
community.
plus on there now. There's like the plus is supposed to add everybody.
Everybody else that want to jump in, bitch.
But so I mean, she's been doing a lot of work with charities and things of spreading awareness, and so she's been pretty political for a while, and apparently some of her music, because the person that she did the interview for had listened to some of the music that's going to be on the album, and there was like a lot of it was pretty political, but some of it was still about personal also, and I can see her doing that. She has always kind of been that way.
And I can already hear bitches in their social justice warrior shit mad that she's leaving that
Child,
behind,
the first thing they're
and they're
gonna
probably gonna.
say is that she remembered that she was white. I hear that a lot. Like a lot of people will be like,
Oh,
"Oh, they were hanging with the black folks and they remembered they were white."
I know. I think she remembered that being a ratchet hoe ain't gonna get you far, which a lot of black people need to realize
Well, the thing
before
is,
they say some bullshit.
ratchetness only lasts for so long. I mean,
Yeah.
she's not looking to be hot for a minute, because that's all Ratchet gonna get you.
Hmm.
If you look at Ratchet artists, they don't have longevity. You got to talk about other
And how
stuff.
old is Miley?
She's younger than us. That's all I know.
Yeah, so she's essentially just going through that phase that everybody goes through at that age, where cause through your fucking 20s, you're still trying to find yourself. I feel like you're still trying to find yourself your entire life, or when you do, you just continue to evolve. So I think that's what's happening with her. She got to that point where she's like, okay, this is not something that I want to be doing and going into my 30s. So she cut that shit out. I don't think it has anything to do with race, but I know black people about to make it. So last week, or maybe a week before that, I know there was this whole thing going on with. Oh yeah, this was last week. Nordstrom. They're selling so instead of the whole trend of like ripped jeans, they now have jeans that they have caked in fake dirt, and
Oh, I
I want you
remember
to
seeing
guess how
somebody
much they
posting
cost.
about that. Oh shit! What? How much it cost?
$425 for these jeans to look like
But
you
it
just
just seems
rolled through
like
a damn chicken
fashion is just going into the fucking gutter. I mean, you know, why do you want to pay to look dirty?
shop.
That's just like that shit that's on Kanye West clothing line. Remember when it first came out and everybody was like, "Okay, you paying $1,000 like a bum." I mean, that's basically what people are going for now. Like that's the look.
Yeah.
You know, although I mean, I get into it a little bit because I get the whole distress shirt, you know, with the holes and everything in it. I think that's
I
cute.
can get
But when you
into it
get
at
into
a
putting
point. I can
on
get to it to a
mud
point.
and dirt and shit stains, I just don't know what the hell
Not shit
else.
stains though, child.
They may as well.
I mean,
I
they
mean, if
do
you
have
gonna do
dirt on the
dirt,
back of them. It's not in this link that I sent you, but in the first one that I first had up when we were going to go into this last week, I had
child.
a link up and it did show the back of the jeans. And there's dirt back there too. And do you see them?
Let me pull it up. But I mean, they may as well just piss on us and just shit right on us. Because why the hell, why?
I just don't
We just,
understand. And I know it says this is fake dirt. So my question is, when you wash them, do they become clean or is this like a permanent?
let's say Nordstrom is selling jeans caked in fake dirt for hundreds of dollars. First of all,
Nor-
that doesn't even look attractive.
it
And if
doesn't. It
you
just
want,
looks like
and my thing is, if you want to look like that, all you gotta do is go mudding.
yeah. Like that's what I don't
You go mudding
understand.
real
This
quick.
is
You go buy you some jeans from Walmart. Actually, no, buy you some jeans from Fred's.
go to
Get you
the
some jeans
dollar
from
store and buy
Fred's
some damn jeans.
and go hop on a 4-wheeler and go mudding, bitch. And there you go. I
Instead of sitting here
mean,
paying $425 for some jeans to look like you need to go wash them.
bitch,
That's literally all this looks like.
I live in Tennessee. I see folks dressed like this all the damn time. Okay, this ain't this ain't nothing new. You know, especially because my father is a mechanic, and child, he used to look like this every day.
God.
He probably still do. I don't know.
This article says it's not clear what the substance is on the
I'm sorry,
jeans.
but I want to be clear because shall I look at somebody just wipe some shit on them jeans. I'm telling you. But
Oh God.
anyway, my next thing is last week.
How much you love me?
Oh, never that. Last week they passed a bill, and well, they passed the bill through the House of Representatives, and I think it still has to go to the Senate, if I remember correctly.
The healthcare thing?
Well, that too, but I didn't really want to talk about that. I want to steer clear of that. But this is actually about overtime. So basically, what the bill is you know how you got your 40 hours a week that you work. So of course, anything over that is time and a half, which equates to your overtime. So basically, what they passed was giving employers an option to, instead of paying overtime, to give you paid time off. So instead of getting paid your time and a half, you just get paid like you normally would, and then have whatever hours put towards your paid time off.
Wait, I think I'm confused. Wait, so like let's say you work your normal 8 hour shift and then you do overtime for 4 hours. So instead of getting paid for that extra 4 hours, they just give you 4 hours of PTO.
Well, I think it's supposed to be an option. Like from what I was reading in the article, it was saying that the employer would give the employee the option. Say, I guess if you really needed some time off and that you wanted to accumulate, then you'll say, okay, I don't want my overtime. I'll take that PTO time. I guess it will work if you need that time off.
Yeah, for that in that scenario, I can see that. But would it change your normal PTO? Like, would you no longer just get PTO? Would you always have to take this option to occur this?
But as far as I know, it has nothing to do with whatever PTO that you already accrued. It's supposed to just add on. I mean, there could be some dividends somewhere that this is just what was in the article. I only read one article. But this is basically what it said. And I was like, huh. I was like, because it said that you don't have to do it. Like when I was reading the article, like at the end, it said no employer can force you to do the PTO.
Okay, that's good.
It's supposed to be your decision. If you want to, instead of getting your overtime, you want your paid time off, then that's good. I mean, I guess if I was, in desperate need of paid time off because I was like right on the edge, because me, I don't accrue time off. Some people accrue time off. I don't accrue mine. I get all of my time off at the beginning of the year, and then I will use it however I see fit. But once that's gone, it's gone. So I guess if I had used my time off all up and I needed some more, then I guess it would be handy. But as long as it's an option, as long as it's an option that I can decide on, I think it's okay. A lot of people were against it. Like, I was reading stuff and like people were not here for it. But the only way I wouldn't be here for it if my employer says all of my overtime is paid time off. Then we have some issues.
Yeah. I think that because I was confused by it when you first brought it up. That's why I think I wasn't here for it. But because it is an option and they cannot force you to take that, I would not mind it because I feel like that would come in handy. Like, let's say I'm working this week and I know next week I need at least like 2-3 hours off and I don't have any more PTO. It's nice to know that during this week I can make those hours to take that time off if I have the option. So I think that that's good, but I would only not be here for it if it was something they had to force you to do. Like, I'm trying to build up some money for this good young paycheck, and you over here, you come to me at the end of the week after I done put in like so many hours. So I'm like, okay, all that's gonna be PTO, bitch. I may have to kill you. I may have to go to jail tonight because that's not okay.
But my last topic is about Chis Pratt. And this is
Who?
Chis Pratt.
Oh, I thought you said getting crabs. I'm like, what? Bitch, what are you about to reveal on this podcast?
This is not that kind of show, ho. But no.
I just want to let y'all know. Always wrap it up. Don't make my same mistake. Crabs are not fun to deal with.
They don't need to make your mistakes, bitch. But it's about Chis Pratt, and this kind of goes back to the whole thing that you were saying about Katy Perry. Just particularly on the fact that I really wish that people would pay more attention to
the intent of people's words.
Yeah, intent more than, oh my God, they said this. Because on behalf of Chis Pratt, he was doing promo for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Guardians of the Galaxy!
And so he was recording a promo for it on Instagram. And then for those who don't know, there are, when videos show up on Instagram, it only plays the audio when you tap it, then it'll be muted. So they had it subtitled, like, for what he's saying, because, like, normally it's silent. So he says, oh, y'all want to listen to these subtitles? Don't listen to these subtitles. Turn the volume on, turn it all the way up, and hear what I'm saying. So that's basically what happened. And so he got a lot of backlash because they were saying if he was offending the hearing impaired. And my thing is, for someone to be offended, and I feel like, okay, I get, sometimes people don't know, what they're saying or, whatever. But, those are really sensitive subjects when you start talking about those groups of people, in relation to. And, I'm sure that probably really hurt his heart, because that would have hurt my heart. I would have felt so bad. And you could tell that he felt bad when he released his apology. He even did it in sign language and everything. This man went back and, learned sign language to apologize to the hearing impaired. And my thing is, I feel like people throw stones at the wrong people. We all know that man that was not intending to offend anybody. A video that probably was just done quickly and whatever, and it was for comedy, and it was to be cute, and it was supposed to just be whatever. And I just feel like in this day and age, you can't do anything without offending somebody. You might as well just wake up in the morning and be ready for an apology to tell somebody, because somebody is just be ready. Because in this day and age, you offend for every fucking body. And I know this is becoming the age of inclusiveness, and we want to be able to support each other. But We are throwing stones at the wrong people. We
For
need to
the
pick our
stupidest of
battles.
things. Yeah, exactly. You need to pick your battles. I remember when you first told me about this the other day. I remember the what's it called? The video on Instagram. So I remember I was sitting there like a dumbass because I was reading it. I didn't have it on the audio on anyway. I was just sitting there reading it, and I was really irritated that I had to take it off and listen to him because I wasn't feeling like it. I just wanted to read the shit, and it was a cute little video. It was funny to me, but I could not have fathomed that anybody would have been offended by that. I can kind of see where you could be irritated that like if you're hearing impaired now you can't participate in the fun of this video, I guess. But I would not put it in the same phrase as like saying that I'm offended by it. To be offended by that would have mean that he was doing something to like he. I feel like he would have had to be doing something extra to make it seem like he didn't want to include hearing impaired people. I don't think that was at all in his mind. I think it was just a funny thing that
I
they were
don't
doing
think it
on
ever
set.
crossed his mind. I don't think it ever crossed his mind once. My whole thing is most of the videos on Instagram do not have subtitles. I
Yeah.
mean,
So like everybody would be offended you. Like I don't understand what you
so
decided to pick him to
why
be mad at.
all these videos that have been posted on Instagram that don't have subtitles never offended anybody? And then this video offends people. It's just mind boggling to me. Like I said, we need to pick our battles. We need to know who's being facetious and who's not. We need to really, really, really look at intent and say, okay, is this people, did this person click record on this fucking camera intending to offend somebody? I mean, yeah, sometimes people offend people and don't know. And some people are racist and don't know. Some people are bigots and don't know. But we can tell. You can gauge. You know when a
Yeah.
bitch is being out of hand. And to
When they
me,
just trying it.
yeah, you really know. And I just feel like I feel like people can do something like that and folks will throw fire at them. But you have people like Trump who somehow grabbing bitches by the pussy and doing sexual assault and shit. And I feel like not enough people are coming at him when he's offending people every goddamn day. And not
Bitch, now
enough
you talk
people.
about waking up, wanting ready to apologize. He needs to. Everything that he takes a breath that he's offending people, and it's really irritating that he can get away with all this. And I mean, there are people that, of course, criticizing him for everything he's doing, but
Yeah,
there's
I'm
not
saying
enough, like you
not
said.
enough.
There's not enough
But
people because
people
if it was, he
run.
would not be in the fucking office right now.
Exactly, not enough people. I mean, we're paying attention to the wrong things. We need to get up and stand for the. Like I said, we need to choose our battles. We need to stand for the certain things we need to stand for. That now, I'm not saying don't stand up for the hearing impaired. I have a cousin who's hearing impaired. Trust me, I have all sympathy in the world. But never once, when I'm watching that video, did I think that he was trying to offend somebody. Now,
Mm-hmm.
when there are people blatantly in our face offending people and we won't say shit, we won't say nothing. And it's just weird to
Especially like
me.
when you just said, damn near every video on Instagram has not had not one subtitle in that video at all. But this one you decided to be pissy
Bitch, I
about.
watch videos all day on Instagram without subtitles. And don't get me wrong, I love subtitles. I watch TV with subtitles. People hate to watch movies and TVs with me because I always have my subtitles on. Because I like it.
So does Aaron. He always has the subtitles on. I've gotten used to it. I don't care. I don't even pay attention to it until somebody brings it up. Like, why are the subtitles on? I'm like, oh yeah, they
I'm
are.
like, bitch, if you don't like my subtitles, bitch, get your own shit. Because you came here to watch my TV last time I checked ho. So, and that's my thing, but I love subtitles. I get it, but I'm not gonna throw flames at somebody that don't deserve it. There's no reason to. I'm all here for put bitch in their place. Cause how else would a bitch learn? Just like Samantha from Sex and the City. How else she gonna learn, bitch? Yes, how else you gonna learn? If you don't put them in their place, they don't know. But we gotta put the right people in their place.
Yeah, you can't just go around trying to throw everybody down on the floor and yell at them about what they're doing wrong just because you got a little bit offended, which I think everybody nowadays is ready to be offended by anything. And it's really irritating because it cheapens when there's actually something offensive being done. Like or somebody being offended by it. Because if you're saying that this video offended you, now when something really offensive comes by, it's like, I don't want to hear it because bitch, you just cried about this video right
Me
here. Like, you
personally,
can't be offended by every fucking thing and think that everybody's gonna take you serious every
yeah,
fucking
me
time.
personally, it takes a lot to offend me. It takes a whole lot.
It really does for me
But
too, bitch. I don't give people the power.
my constitution is so strong in who I am and what I mean. There's a lot of time when people think they've offended me, or they're afraid that they're going to offend me, or they said something, they be like, "Oh, I didn't mean to offend you," and I'm like, "Bitch, I don't even know what you're talking about." Half the time, bitch, I'm not even listening. I'm not even paying you no attention. And really, I'm not. I mean, I have too much shit to do in my day. When I tell you, from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, bitch, I'm doing something. And I don't have time to
Hmm.
be thinking about what other bitches are talking about, what they're doing. And, in this case, this makes me think of one of my ex coworkers. I worked with her, but she was so paranoid. She swear everybody was talking about her, and I don't know, maybe they were, but we'll be.
I remember you talking about this girl,
Yeah, and I love her to death.
bitch.
She's the sweetest girl in the world. I love her to death. But I swear, she was like borderline schizophrenic. The girl was always talking about, how somebody was talking about her and whatever. And the thing is, she was saying they be talking about me too. Child, they down there talking about us. Now, both me and her are where we at working. And these people that are apparently talking about us, all the way on the other side of the room, child, nowhere near us. I can't hear shit they saying. And I'm just looking at her. And she was like, "They down there talking about us. I see them. They down there talking about us. They talking about us right now." And me, I don't. I've always been the type of person, bitch. If you don't say it to my face, it ain't about me. I'm that person. If you ain't saying it to me, cause you bold as hell to say it in my face. I'm telling you now, you got some balls to say it in my motherfucking face. But if you say it to me, then we got problems. But if you don't say it to me, I ain't worried. I ain't thinking about you, your mama, your daddy, or your brother. I don't know you.
I'm the same way, especially because of the way that I dress and everything when we're out. Like when I go out with my with Aaron, when I go out with my mom, brother, anybody, they're always like talking about some those people are just looking at you, or those people might be talking about you. Like, Mom, they're not doing it over here. I can't sit here and be mad at somebody talking shit about me when I talk shit about me generally every person I see. So I can't then turn around and be mad that somebody possibly talks shit about me. They have every right to talk shit about me amongst themselves. You bring it over here is when it becomes a problem. When you think you're gonna come in my face and say some shit about me and think it's just gonna be okay, bitch, I'm gonna throat check you. You're gonna be able to say shit else. If you guys enjoying this, definitely go ahead and subscribe to the podcast or follow or listen in, whatever the hell it's called. Go ahead and like this fucking podcast episode, and we will catch you guys all next week. Oh,
Bye, everybody. Oh, good God. Send me under.